Hello. So we are back for another episode of DanPlays, and this time we are doing another one of the Mac Venture NES games. This is Shadowgate, which was the, I believe the first of the Mac Ventures to be released on the NES. I believe Deja Vu actually came first on the PC, so they did have a different release order on the NES system than, well, their original Macintosh counterparts. So yeah, I cleared save file 1 here, so we'll get started. And it's very much the same format, screen format as Deja Vu. You have your item list on the right, your commands, which turns into the text box at the bottom, picture on the left. To stop the Warlock Lord from summoning the behemoth. Swear by your god's name that you will destroy the Warlock Lord. So first order of business is obviously getting inside. And this door is not locked, but the next door is. And the key to the locked door is actually here on this first screen. You open the skull above the door. I'm going to see if I can, remember everything to do in this, which, again, that is, I guess you could say, one of the disadvantages to this type of game, where if you play through it once and you know how to do everything, you can just kind of walk through it the next time. It kind of loses any challenge that it had. But I haven't played this in a number of years, so... I think the most recent I've seen this game cleared was not myself, but probably the episode that You Can Beat Video Games did on his channel, which is well worth watching. He also did a video on beating the, what was it on? I think the TurboGrafx CD, the sequel game for it. And he did a video with one of the developers, so look those up for sure. They're definitely worthwhile. So the key one opens the main door up ahead of us here. We don't have the key to that closet yet, but we'll be able to get it very soon. As in, pretty much now. That one torch appears separately on your item list, so that suggests something special about it. So the book here, you can't take the book. This game, probably even more than Deja Vu, is loaded with, instant death traps that you don't know in advance. You only know about them by trial and error. So, yeah, if you try to take the book, the floor opens up and you fall in and die and get game over. So, instead of taking it, we'll just open the book. And then we find key number 2. And I believe that's the key to the closet on the previous screen, which has a few items we need to retrieve. So, assuming that that is the right key, we'll open that up. Yep, there we go. So we'll take the sword and the sling. Oop. There we go. It's a good place to keep your sword, just in a closet in the main entrance hall of your castle. So there is a stone here that opens a secret passage. I don't think we want to go through that yet. We can, but I think we end up just back where we started, basically. So here on this screen we'll open these up. And I'm trying to remember, I don't know if it really matters which way to go first, but we can't get this key yet, but we can open up the door in the background and get a few things here. So we can take some stones for our sling. We only really need one, so we'll do that. There is a blocked off entrance here, which is just a red herring. There's nothing behind. You can't actually go through that. But in true video game fashion, we can go behind the waterfall. Hit this stone here. That gives just a bag of gems. I don't think we need to take the bag itself, but we can take these 3 gemstones, one of which we'll actually use momentarily. And you can get some good item descriptions, so we'll check out these. White Stone of Unknown Origin, a fine thing to gamble away in a good card game. Reminds me of my adventure across the Sea of Blood. I want to hear about that. That sounds exciting. Blue one's just as big as the pommel of a sword. You'd think I would have brought a sword with me, you know? If you're going into an evil sorcerer's castle, you want to bring something with you. Okay, so here, take the torches first. And then one of the stones, I think the white one, goes in the hole on the wall there. Yep. And we get the crystal sphere, which is one of the few items that actually has multiple uses in the game, so we'll actually use that momentarily, and then we'll actually take it back and use it again later. So this room, there's a dragon through this door that breathes fire every time you take something, so you want to take the shield first. And then we want to take the hammer. And if you take too many things, your shield melts and you die anyway. So we'll just take what we need. I don't think the helmet actually has a use. The skulls potentially can answer a question later, but you can get another skull in another room, so I think we'll leave those alone for now. And we'll leave the helmet behind for now, just to not press our luck, since we did take the torch on the wall. So we'll go back here, and we're going to freeze this water with the crystal sphere, and that'll allow us to get the key. So we can take that key the skeleton's holding now. I forget what that goes to offhand, but we'll find out soon enough, I'm sure. And then we actually want to use our torch on the water. We don't want to touch the sphere itself, but melting and then refreezing the ice makes the sphere come up to the surface, and then we can take it again. And again, this is one of the few items that actually has multiple uses. So there we go. And our torch is running out, so we'll light another one. And as far as these coffins go, some of these you don't want to open. There's one that has slime that comes out of it, which effectively blocks off this hallway. And if you try to go through it, you melt and die. One of them has a banshee in it, which doesn't actually do any permanent damage, but it's annoying. And then there's one that has a bag of coins, one that doesn't open, and one has a mummy. I think this is the one with the mummy. So, first thing we want to do when we see a mummy, set it on fire, of course. So we'll use our torch on it. We'll take the scepter. We don't need that yet, but eventually we'll need that. And I think these are, like, copper coins. Yeah. I don't think we actually need these. Like, eventually there's a troll that you have to pay to cross a bridge, but, he won't take the copper coins, and I don't think you can use them anywhere else. So this is the fire, actually not quite the fire room yet. So we'll take the torches. The broom, I think, the only use for that, potentially, is having an answer to a riddle we eventually have, which is also what the skull is potentially used for. But we'll take it anyway. Now we'll use the hammer. I think the right-hand mirror opens a portal to deep space that causes you to die. The other one just breaks and cuts you. You get cut with the pieces and die. But the middle mirror you can break with the hammer, and you have to do that to continue on. So bellow like a Norse god and smash the mirror to reveal a hidden door. I think, actually, this might be what that third key is used for. Now this room, I think, is going to boot us out because we, yeah. I think we have to put the cloak on, which we don't have yet. So we're going to backtrack a little. If it lets me, I'm actually going to grab that helmet from the room with the dragon. As I recall, I think if you leave and come back to this room, eventually it resets your how many uses of the shield you get before it melts. So I'll take the helmet, see what happens. And I won't press the lock. The bone you can't use for anything, I don't think. And again, the skull is a potential riddle answer, but we can get another one in a different room later. Alright, so for now we're actually going to backtrack to the hallway and we're going to go through this hidden door. I think these torches are bolted to the wall, so we can't take those, but the arrow we do want, and one of the torches we can use to open the hidden door here. We'll try going up here. This is a red herring, you can't go through this door, but I don't think it kills you. So, yeah. Reminds me of in the Curb Your Enthusiasm episode, the doll. There's when they're getting the doll from Sammy's room, and Larry like reaches up, he sees it on the shelf, and he reaches up and like grabs the shelf first, and then goes to grab the doll, and the whole shelf collapses. Which I heard on the History of Curb Your Enthusiasm podcast, and I always kind of suspected this, but that was actually not planned. the shelf falling in that scene. That was, you know, it was so good they kept it in. So anyway, this guy is what we use that special torch for. So what we're going to do is use a regular burning torch on the special torch. And there's like no clue to this particular one. There's no puzzle to it. I think I discovered it as a kid just by sheer trial and error. But that's how you get rid of the wraith. Alright, so we can put this cloak on, and I think that's what allows us to stay in the room with the fire. Here's the Epor room. Grab the torch. I actually forget if these are anything. Open the scroll. 5 to find, 3 are wild. This is the prophecy that tells you how to build the staff that you need for the end of the game. 5 to find, 3 are 1. 1 gives access to the bladed sun. The silver orb to banish below, the staff of ages to vanquish the foe. Joining 2, the golden blade, the last to invoke, the platinum horn. So that basically just tells you all the required items for the end game you need. We don't need to take the scroll, but we will anyway, just for fun. Yeah, I don't think... Actually, that bottle we do probably want to take, the impossibly light one, because that one actually will allow us to go over that broken bridge. You can get those bottles later, but in another room, but might as well take the one. If you read the sign twice, we learn our first spell. We'll try speaking Epor. And there we go. So now we can go upstairs from here. But first, there is a hidden room here. Gems, I think the blue gem goes in this hole. Alright, so we got another spell, which we'll eventually need. And we need to light another torch, since the panic music is starting. Now we can go up the rope that we moved with that first spell. And now we should be able to go in here. Well, yeah, I think it's the cloak that makes it so it doesn't boot you out, because we already had the sphere in hand the last time. But the second use for that sphere is to toss it into the fire below us. If you open the door with the fire still burning, a fire drake comes out. And I don't think it kills you right away, but if you try to, do anything to it or move through the door with the drake there, then it kills you. And I keep mentioning all the deaths. That's actually, if you're playing this for the first time, which if you haven't played it and you plan to, don't watch this video. I always hate to say that, but, this is spoiler country, obviously. Yeah, if playing this the first time, like, a big part of the fun, really, is, like, all the, like, descriptions of the different ways you die, just by, usually sheer dumb luck. Some of them get pretty grisly, too. I assume they only got away with it on the NES because it was, only text. It wasn't, graphical or shown or anything. So this is where the troll shows up. So we're just going to use our spear on him for now. Get rid of him for the time being. Uh-oh. Well, it's one way to deal with a Cyclops. Death to the Philistine. My all-time favorite movie is Jim Jarmusch's Dead Man, which has the scene with the fur trappers played by Iggy Pop, Billy Bob Thornton, and Jared Harris. And in that scene, before they eat, Billy Bob asks Iggy Pop's character to say grace, or to read something from the good book, I think he says, so he just picks like some random violent Bible passage that has nothing to do with anything, but it's about, like, God smiting the Philistines. And Billy Bob Thornton says, "What's a Philistine?" And Iggy Pop responds, "Well, it's like a really dirty person." Okay. Just thought of it. So anyway, the Cyclops is down but not out, so this is what we use the sword for, because if we don't, he does come back. We only took the one stone, so crank this well, open up the bucket, and I think the gauntlet is in here, yeah. So we'll take that and put it on. Hopefully there's not too much noise interference. By the way, somebody next door is cutting the lawn, it sounds like. I'm sure some of it's getting picked up on the mic, but hopefully it's not too bad. Not like in the one Chrono Trigger video where I had the fan running too close to the mic the whole time. What was that, like part 9, I think? Alright, so the torch. I think we picked the second door there. So I think the horseshoe is a possible riddle answer too. I don't think there's anything we can do with that. We'll grab that bottle too also. We already have one, but just in case we need to use it twice for some reason. I don't think the test tube does anything for us. Yeah, we'll take that last bottle too. I think there's only the 3 in the game, and you only really need one, I believe, but there is one more thing hidden here. This we do want, the holy water. Or just water, apparently. So yeah, apparently Nintendo wouldn't let them call it holy water, but it does still refer to the sign of the cross in the description. Opening that grate just has a hellhound come out and kill you. Okay, so... Lands of Tarkus. I assume that borders the countries of, or the provinces of Emerson, Lake, and Palmer, right? The map might be a riddle answer, too. I don't know, and you don't really need to take them. Once you get the riddle, you can go back and find whatever item it is, but, you know, just to make it easy on ourselves so we don't have to do any backtracking. This book I think we can just open. Oh, I think we need... There's glasses, maybe in this... Yeah, they're there, in the same room. So we'll put these on. And those let us read the book. Remember what key 5 goes to, but I'm sure we need it at some point. Alright, so we'll put these glasses on. Torch, obviously. Okay, so now we should be able to read this book. The light grows faint, the path winds round, where life is lost, wisdom is found. The seed of the dream, for the evil is free. Where the sword is hung, he must place the key. A bridge to from, amidst burning death, a demon to guard. Motari riseth. I don't know about that a bridge to from line, that doesn't sound quite right. Alright, so this is where that last gemstone goes, the red gem. So we'll put that in the hole in the wall. That opens up a hidden passage here. Alright, so I think the main thing here is opening the globe with the Terrak spell. So we can open that up. I don't actually remember if Bottle 5 does anything for us, but since it's hidden like that, I'm gonna guess maybe. I think the Bellows is possibly a riddle answer too. I don't think the Chalice or the Poker do anything for us. So, yeah, we'll take the Bellows. But, I don't think we need anything else from that room. And it loads it shows for like a split second when you first come into this room, it shows the burn spot on the rug. You can actually burn any rug in the game, but this is the one you actually have to get another key. So obviously one of the keys goes to that door. Oh, the one under the rug. I don't actually remember which of those 3 doors to go through first, so we'll go this way. Okay, we don't have the rod yet, I don't think. You have to put a lightning rod in the hole there, but we don't have it yet. So that's a red herring, that if you try to get the pot of gold, the balcony breaks off and you fall and die. For these... So we do want the big coin. The gold coins I think you can use to pay the troll. But we already hit him with our spear, so I don't know if we even have that option anymore. But there is another way to get past him. So here, the king needs a scepter, so this is where we use the scepter we got from the burned mummy. Have the ring for that yet either, so we'll backtrack for now. I don't think the crest does anything, or the mirror on the wall. Come on. Some doors it actually does let you open without selecting it, but I guess these are locked, so it's not going to. So let's see, we used that one. Alright, here's the Sphinx. Long neck, no hands. 100 legs cannot stand. Born of a forest nest, against a wall I rest. So that is... There's a few different riddles that he asks for, but that's asking for, I believe, the broom. So we'll show him the broom, and now we can pass him. These markings here on the stairway are actually a clue. So I'm going to cheat and just grab a picture with my phone so I don't forget them. In the past, of course, you would have either written it down or just, you know, tried to remember it. That's assuming you even noticed those markings for them to be used as a clue for later. Observing the stars, the throne constellation appears once every 5 summers. Legend says that it's a portal to another land. So for our purposes, that doesn't have anything to do with anything. That's just a red herring item. Oops, I actually meant to take that. But there is... The torch running out. There is a way to move that star chart. Yeah, it's just the open command. I was trying to remember if it was just opening it or if there was a spell for it. So that's the lightning rod. So, as you could probably guess, this is a trap, too. She's not what she seems. So, we're just gonna stick an arrow in her. Yep, she was a werewolf. I forgot they showed blood in this. That's unusual for an NES game. If you do anything else, obviously, if she turns into the werewolf and kills you. So the blade is actually part of the Staff of Ages that you need for the end game. Hey, buddy. When we have an opportunity, we could get rid of some of those riddle items, since we've already answered it. So let's see what key works on this. Not that one. There we go. the holy water, or just water. So that horn is also part of what you need for the end game. So here is the wyvern, and for this I think we use the star from the star chart. This is another one that's just trial and error to figure out. I think this is, I kind of forget what the talisman does, actually. I assume we need it eventually. Alright, so here we'll use the rod. The skeletal hand rises up and gives us a wand. So, before I forget, we'll backtrack now to the room with the two bridges. Where was that? Oh shit, son. And he has our spear. So we gave him we not only didn't kill him, we gave him a weapon. So we can use a gold coin, but one of the spells, I think it's the Humana spell, lets us just pass him by. Mm-hmm. I guess we didn't. Did we not get to the room with the two bridges yet? I don't even know. Here's the room with the king. He needs the ring, which we still don't have. So we screwed something up here. Oh, here we go. Okay, so now we can use one of the bottle tubes on ourselves to make ourselves light, and then we can cross the broken bridge. It's a snake. Oh, it's just a statue of a snake. But this is, again, this is another trial and error, not really even a puzzle, but this is what we use the wand on. Used the wrong spelling of shutter for this application. Alright, so that's like the base of the staff we need for the end game. We could actually probably put the blade on it now. Yeah. So we still don't have the ring. Where do you get that? I think it's the room with the fountain, but where is the room with the fountain? Is that, oh, that's actually in here, if we didn't go... Yeah, here it is. So we have the gauntlet already on, so we can take the, flute from this fountain of acid. And then we can play the flute. plays a little riff from the Deja Vu music. Which again, I think this actually came out first on NES, but maybe they did develop Deja Vu first. Uninvited, the third Mac venture that came out on NES, that has like an Easter egg of like a snippet of music from Shadowgate too. Alright, so there's the ring. That's what we need for the room with the Skeleton King. That was through here. Torches. Didn't mean to do that. The room on the left is red herring. I think that kills you. Too. Alright, so here with the gargoyles, we use the Illumina spell. Straight or right? We do need to go there, but... Go here first. Okay, so this is where we use the those symbols on the side of the staircase in the Sphinx room. So I call up my phone, so it starts with all three of them up. Step 2 is to pull the right lever. And the middle lever, and then we pull the right lever back up. And there we go. I think this is the orb that goes on the staff. Yep, so we've completed the Staff of Ages. Torch early, since I can see it's running out. Gargoyles again, so now we'll open up the well. We'll use the big coin on the well. Oh, this is actually what the gold coins are for. Which I think if you can use them on the troll, and I think you actually can screw yourself if you use all of the gold coins up on the troll. Alright, so this is what the talisman is for, and I think it goes in the sword one, hopefully. Let's drop a save real quick, just in case. I don't think it can permanently screw you here, but... And I think we use the horn. this is the end, isn't it? This was a lot shorter than I remember it being. I guess, you know, just going through knowing everything to do and not having to do all the trial and error. So, again, I guess that's an example of how it can have this kind of game can have its replay value somewhat limited. Can I defeat a creature such as this? Well, we can use our fancy staff, can't we? And there goes the Warlock Lord. The morning sun, it is over. Or, another way to put it, the morning sun vanquishes the horrible night. What a horrible night to have a curse. Kind of hung up there for a minute. Well, there's a wait, including that sequel for, again, I think the TurboGrafx 16 CD, which very few people played. There was actually a SHADOWGATE 64, which I don't know, did that have much of a connection to the original game? There's actually a novel, too, the Worlds of Power series of books that were like novelizations of third-party NES games. There was like a Bases Loaded one, there was a Blaster Master one, I think Wizards and Warriors. The most famous is probably the Mega Man 2 book in that series, which there's a good video of James Rolfe, AVGN, reading that entire book. So yeah, check that out. But yeah, there was a SHADOWGATE one, and the SHADOWGATE one was kind of different from the others because it wasn't actually a novelization of the game. It was a novelization, it was like a prequel novel, basically. It was like a very simple, I actually read it just last year, it was a very simple, you know, young adult fantasy story. Very little connection to the game, too, but it exists. And it's actually called Before SHADOWGATE, but it is part of the Worlds of Power series. So I wonder if they were planning to do, like, other actual MacVenture sequels to this, like they did do it. There was a Deja Vu 2. Never came out on NES, but I wonder if there was a plan on the Mac to do a SHADOWGATE 2 there. Technically, it did get other stories. I forget what the one on TurboGrafx CD is called, and hopefully that's the system, since I keep saying it. Hopefully it's not, I know it's not CDI or anything. Yeah, there is that one. There's SHADOWGATE 64, Trial of the Four Terrors. Or Four Towers, I think. I guess that's all of them. There is a remake of this first game, too. So anyway, yeah, I guess that's it. It just freezes on this screen. So, that's SHADOWGATE. 45 minutes, just about even. With, you know, no deaths or experimentation or anything like that. So, yeah, that's it. It's a fun game. Again, this kind of game always gets hurt on future playthroughs just by their very nature, but you know, it's a good one. It's a memorable game for sure. So yeah, that's Shadowgate. This is Dan Plays. Hit like and subscribe, and we'll do something else sometime soon, and maybe do something that's not a game video sometime before that. Who knows? But anyway, hit like and subscribe if I didn't say that already, and have a good night.